Hello, and welcome to the 5th episode of the Drive Home podcast. And if I could find the keyhole, we can get this show on the road. I got out at 8 again. Do not worry about that. That just means I need to refill my wiper fluid. And I just need to... I have it. I just need to decide to do it one day, I guess. But I don't need to do it right now, so I won't. It's literally in the back seat, the wiper fluid. So I legitimately just need to, open up and put it in. So, I was listening to the 3rd episode, and I realized I didn't say everything correctly. So I'm just going to reiterate, that was the Dragon Ball episode, where I talked about how much I like Dragon Ball, and how I'm really into Dragon Ball at the moment. And to follow up on some of the things that I said that weren't fully finished in terms of sentences and stuff, because sometimes I have trouble and I end up rambling and then I forget what I was talking about. I never actually stated that I watched the entirety of the Dragon Ball Super anime, which I have, or at least I don't remember. I think I listened to the whole thing, but I don't remember hearing me say that. And another thing is that when I was talking about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, I forgot to mention that though they do add in some things, they also remove specific, relatively important things from the game. As a big example, Vegeta first used his Final Flash in the Cell Saga, in the fight against Cell, and he does not do that in any of the cutscenes. And it's not explicitly stated that anywhere. I think it's just something you can learn and use, but it's not in the game. And it was a very, and I don't remember because I haven't rewatched that specific part of the Cell Saga. I think I rewatched I wanted to show my brother a specific clip, and so I ended up watching, as Cell was going to explode, and to the end of the father-son Kamehameha, basically. So I think that was 2 episodes in total. So it wasn't a lot, but it was something. So, and also, as I was listening to it, I realized I need to get something to stand my phone up on, or to keep my phone from rattling against things, because it is annoying, honestly, having to hear that. So, I'm working on it. Maybe I can get... I was thinking I could get one of those... I don't know what you call it. But, my mother had a GPS in her truck for when she was going far distances, or whatever. Just that she could figure out where she was going. And it had this thing that you would, suction cup on your windshield, or whatever. So you wouldn't have to look down or look away, because it wasn't built into her truck. I don't know how exactly it worked. You plugged it into your truck and it knew where you were. That's all I really knew about it. And then you could tell it where you wanted to go, and it would take you there, and it would yell at you for, in so-and-so miles, turn this direction, or keep going straight. I don't know. It kind of gets annoying after a while, but, if you don't know where you're going, then that's what you got to use. And you can't always look at it, and you shouldn't constantly look at it, but you know. So anyway, it itself was detachable from the suction cup device that would clamp on to the windshield, basically. And when I say suction cup, it's like a pressurized one, because you would stick it you would stick the suction cup part, and at that point it wouldn't stick to the windshield. But there was this sort of like a lever thing that when you like pushed it one way, it would like suction cup sort of. So it's like a mechanical suction cup or something, which is actually really cool, because as anyone who has ever used actual suction cups for anything really, like the plastic ones you used to like hang stuff up or whatever, those things don't like just staying there. They really don't. So I mean, it's and you know, I think sometimes it would fall down, but for the most part it would be fine, because you know, you're driving and it's supposed to be in like the middle of your car. Or well, when my mom had it, she would leave it like below her rear view mirror, basically. Her center rear view mirror. So that was where it was kept. So if it fell, it would either fall onto the dashboard or to the middle area, and it was fine. It's built tough, so that's convenient. Anyway, if I can get one of those, I could just prop my phone up, but I would not know where to get one for a phone. Anyway, the last episode was sort of depressing, so I'm going to try and not do that. I say depressing, I don't know. It was just really, I don't know. I don't want to say cringe, but to me it was a little cringe, because I don't normally talk about that stuff. And it's personal, I guess, which makes it cringe to me. Maybe you guys thought it was cringe too. Who knows? Anyway, I'll try and tone that down. So, I had an okay day at work. Didn't do too much different. My boss is on vacation for the week. So, that's something. And tomorrow, I do not work. So, I guess there will be a video uploaded tomorrow, but it's hard to say, because I think the third, I try to upload the videos the day after. So tonight I will be uploading the 4th episode. So that should be, well, for you guys it'll have been yesterday? Man, that's so confusing. But it's since my personal account on YouTube is separate, I don't think it fully uploaded. So it might you might get 2 at once. So that'll be fun. Anyway, yeah. So, oh wow, I just completely lost everything I was thinking about. But oh yes. Some other tidbits that I forgot about in the Dragon Ball episode is that when I was talking about anime that I've watched, I forgot to mention JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I specifically remember forgetting that I watched Chainsaw Man. Both amazing, by the way. Love them. I can't wait for whatever happens next. I guess I know of Steel Ball Run, but I don't know anything specific other than a horse race and it's sort of, and it's a reset or whatever. But I think with JoJo, I think that works. And I'm not usually a big fan of like a reboot, but I think this one it'll be fine. Don't get me wrong, my favorite JoJo part is part 2, because Tequila Joseph is hilarious. And also, like, the Pillarman theme is just unironically like the best theme in JoJo, hands down. Part 2 is personally my favorite. Yeah, so JoJo, big fan. I also don't read it, but I guess I have seen Rohan, Thus Spoke Rohan Kashibe. I think that's how you say it. That was like a short anime that was separate from. I mean, I don't know if it's canon, but it's JoJo, so that was interesting. I mean, Rohan was one of my favorite characters from part 4, so he was funny because he was the only smart one, and I use air quotes. So actually, if I remember correctly, I believe I saw a part 4 episode on Adult Swim, or maybe it was Toonami or whatever, one night, way before I got recommended JoJo. And it weirded me out so bad, because it made no sense. Because if you haven't seen JoJo, you have to start, I guess there's like 2 starting points, I guess, for JoJo. I guess at this point there might be 3, because I guess once Steel Ball Run comes out, you could technically start with that, and then just ignore the rest of JoJo, but that's a lot of JoJo to ignore. You can start with part 1, you can start with part 3, and in theory, after it comes out, you could start with part 7? Yeah, 7, because 4 is Crazy Diamond, 5 is Giorno, and 6 is Stone Ocean. So, that's just how I remember it. That's just how I remember the parts, is either the name of the protagonist, or their stand. So, you know. So, yeah, but no, it's Diamond is Unbreakable, which is part 4. Golden Wind, I think, or I don't. Yeah, it's Golden. It's just the translations of the names are because it gets confusing when they start switching the actual names of the stands to like basically just like the name of the part. Because like Diamond is Unbreakable has its own name, and then that is not the name of the stand, which is it Crazy Diamond? That's one of them. I can't remember. I'd have to ask my friend or look it up. But I think it's Crazy Diamond. And then it's supposed to be Golden Experience, I think, but it's Golden Wind in part 5, which the name of part 5 is Golden Wind, I believe. And so the English name for the stand is Golden Wind, which is like, I mean, Experience wouldn't be hard to do, I don't think. I believe it's Experience, either that or that's the Requiem. No, I think that's just the name of the original name of the stand. And then, well, I don't actually know what the original name for Stone Ocean would be. I forget. I honestly forget. It's a good part. I love it. I love all the JoJo parts. I will say, I feel like the weakest JoJo part, as out of the 6 that I've seen, is probably part 6, I think. I'm gonna just say that. Like, don't get me wrong. Part 6, like, hey, like, I'm saying it's the worst out of, like, okay, so, like, in a basket of golden eggs, it's, like, the golden egg that's, like, eh. It's got, like, a little dent in it, maybe? I don't know how to describe it. Like, I'm saying it's the worst out of, like, some of the best stuff ever. So, it's subjective. I don't know. I think, like, part 1 is amazing like, I think some people are just there for the stands, and if you are, good for you. But part 1 and part 2 are amazing. And if you don't watch them, you should, at least once. Plus, like I think personally, part 2 being my favorite, I'm a little biased. But, I mean, like the opening, like, the Pillarman theme, just young Joseph in general. Like, it's hilarious, and it's funny, and it's serious, and it's JoJo, and it's a bizarre adventure. And it's set during World War II, so who knows what's gonna happen. I think part 1 is part 1 is like second weakest, only because to me, like, it's okay. It's a good part. I really like it. But compared to the other parts, like, there isn't as much, I guess. In a sense. Like, I don't know. It feels like it feels like part 1 could be like a sort of basic video game, in a sense, right? Because you're the protagonist. Now you've got powers. Now you got a cool sword that you can use. Hey, you've killed the bad guy. For some reason, you get that ending. I won't spoil it, but you should watch part 1. If you haven't seen JoJo, you should at least watch the first 2 parts. It's the only thing I'll say about it. If you don't happen to like parts 3 and onward, who am I to say to continue? But parts 1 and 2, relatively short. They count as the first season, whereas the rest of the parts are all one season on their own. At least that's how I think Netflix does it. Yeah. So, and then yeah. Not to just ramble on about JoJo the whole time, but Chainsaw Man. I forgot about Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man's really, really funny. I don't really have anything else to associate it with, like a comparison, because not that I can think of. But it's cool, and it's got, like, blood and stuff. So if you're kind of like, if you're not a fan of, like, even just like a little bit of gore, definitely would not recommend Chainsaw Man. The beginning's funny though. The first episode, some of the first episode is really, and like, the characters are funny because they're kind of stupid, but they're not, but they are, like, they're really stupid. And then some of them are like normal people, and it's funny. And the ending is definitely the ending of season 1 is definitely JoJo-esque, I guess, if you catch my drift. Part 1 fans, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I have reached home, and I think that's a good place to conclude this episode. I think I'll call it Oops, I Goofed, and I like JoJo, yeah. I like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure specifically, so it doesn't come off weird. Yeah. Actually, I don't know anyone named JoJo, so I think it would be fine, but I don't know. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll work on my audio when to the best I can. It's just, driving with earbuds or headphones is weird, and I have an Apple phone, one of the newer ones, so I'd have to get and long story short, my plug-in to my phone doesn't work, so I can't really use wired stuff. So I Bluetooth charge my phone, and I use Bluetooth earbuds and stuff, so, that's fun. I'm fine with it, but it gets annoying when, you need a cord to do something, and nope, can't do it. I could get it cleaned, and that would probably fix it for a little bit, but it never stays that way. Phone people, you know what I'm talking about. It sucks. I wonder if there are any phone people listening to me. So I get there's a whole community around certain things like cameras and lenses and phones and phone cases. There's a phone case community I recently learned about. Well, not recently. It was a little bit ago, and I don't know much about it, but it's definitely interesting. So, thank you all for listening to the 5th episode of the Drive Home podcast, and I will talk to you for me it'll be 2 days, but you'll get videos whenever they actually upload, which is stupid that it doesn't upload automatically. But, it happens.